Hi, I'm Eddie. Recently, I've been recruited as a volunteer editor for a Buddhist magazine, which also includes translating articles in Chinese into English. I'm making this video to present what I do because I'm really new to the process, and I would really appreciate if anybody can provide advice on how to improve or change those that are incorrect. I have certain challenges to fulfill this role. Even though I volunteer in different capacities before, the editorial process is new for me. Also, even though I can speak Mandarin, Chinese, and when I speak to people, people think I'm fluent, I'm not, because I spent pretty much all of my life here in the States and I cannot read and write. Thus, the process of translating and editing both are kind of new and challenging. So here's what I do. In terms of translation, I take the Chinese article and I translate it in 3 different AI translation apps. The first one is ChatGPT. I provided instructions that this is a Buddhist article, follow certain tones, etc., etc. I also use Manus AI. Now, Manus AI is a Chinese app, so I'm hoping that because it's a Chinese AI, it may be able to understand the Chinese better and translate it better. And then I also use DeepL, which is just a translation app. And so using these 3 different AIs, I translate and then I read each one while I listen to the Chinese so I can compare and refigure the paragraphs so that it comes out to be what I feel is the most accurate and fluid. And then if there are certain phrases or vocabularies that does not make any sense, I also use Google Translate to kind of dig down further. But in terms of how fluid these translations come out, I feel like ChatGPT is probably the most fluid, but I need to have the other 2 to ensure that the right meaning comes through. And I think Google Translate is good, but when you translate large paragraphs or paragraphs, it just can't compare. But everything is evolving, so who knows? So once I had the full article translated, I would take the full article and I put it into Word. Then I will launch this app called PerfectIt, which I have a subscription for, to check the consistency. And then I would run it again through PerfectIt to check based on the consistency of the Chicago Manual of Style, CMOS. After the 2 consistency checks, then I would bring it back into ChatGPT and I would compare that article with previous articles. So I would upload like 30 or 40 different previous articles to ask ChatGPT to check for the consistency based on the historical articles. Then I would take the whole article and I would put it into ProWriteAid to check for style, for awkwardness, sentences too long, too short, etc. I will go through each recommendation and decide to change or not to change. Once that's done, then we're near the end where I would do the full proofread. I would go in there to make sure that the first foreign terms are italicized, or that the title, the author, etc. are all formatted correctly. Also to make sure that the names and Buddhist terms are consistent, as well as reading and listening to make sure that it sounds fluid. So that's my process for translating, editing, and getting ready to be published. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. And if you have any recommendations, please put them in the comments. Thank you. Have a great day.